Time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Monday KVJ show. Good to see everybody here today.
Yeah, Monday.
Hopefully you had some great weekends. A lot of fun, a lot of good stuff, a lot of relaxation. A little fiesta in there maybe, who knows?
A lot of rain.
Yeah, there was a little bit of rain. A little bit of rain.
Bufo toads galore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
You got them things going crazy?
They are going crazy.
Yeah, okay.
And
that's good.
They are different looking than a cute little frog. They
Yeah,
got an ugly look to them.
They look like there's something that's off. Like it's something you shouldn't approach. There's just a lot of animals that they just got a look to them. And those bufo toads are one of those things. Yeah, it's just crazy. There's still some storms that are brewing, and last thing I saw, it looked like this, Hurricane Zeta, because we ran out of names. It looked like it's going to be powering through the Gulf. I'm like, again?
I know.
It's crazy.
Another storm heading right for that same area in the Gulf of Mexico.
It's like every 2 to 3 weeks, they got
I
another
know.
storm that comes through.
And they're saying we ran out of names?
Yeah.
Now we ran out of Greek names. We're on Z.
Yeah.
You just can't repeat name. You can't go back and...
No.
You can't do Amanda if we never used Amanda before. It doesn't go back to A.
If Amanda ever landed anywhere and did any kind of damage, you can't use Amanda.
Okay, but let's say, there's no Amanda, but what if there's an Allison? Let's say there's never... You mean to tell me every A name has been used?
It's every girl you've ever dated?
Yo, wait, Amanda and Allison.
Something's on somebody's mind.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
These girls, they come in like a hurricane, Kevin.
Well, that's
Came
true.
in like a hurricane.
There's some truth to that, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, they may have to start rethinking how they do storms if we're getting this many, because you go through 26 pretty quickly, and they may have to start saying, okay, if we go to round 2, then we would have 2 A named storms, 2 B named storms.
That's what I mean. Why can't we just do that?
They probably will start having to do that because they never used to have to. We would never have that many. And now we do. So now they're going to start saying they probably starting next year have to really give this serious thought to say, we just don't have enough. We're going to get more than 26 named storms this year.
I mean, Zeta, is that what you said?
That's what they do. They go to the Greek alphabet when they get through the regular name storms that they have. They always put out that list a month or two before the actual hurricane season saying this is going to be the names for the storms this year.
I don't want to speak for Virginia, but we think that's real dumb, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's time for change.
Yeah, because obviously we got a lot of storms coming.
Yeah.
We gotta reevaluate how we do this so it's not so confusing.
Good news for this week for us. Today, you got about a 50% chance of rain, but the rest of the week, it looks like it could be some sunshine with only about a 20% chance of rain.
It kind of rained the entire weekend, even that day we said it wasn't going to rain.
Yeah, it's kind of yucky. I know a lot of neighborhoods have posted they're flooded.
Yeah, you had that going on. Luckily, the king tides have gone away, which so there wasn't as much flooding when that was going on a week or two before. That was kind of a mess where you had water already there. But yeah, it looks pretty good for this week. We'll see. Saturday morning was nice, and then Saturday afternoon it got rainy. There was a little touch of some sunshine yesterday, but it looks like hopefully a better week this week. So we'll see. I mean, I thought like the rainy season. Aren't we supposed to be wrapping this thing up here pretty quick?
Yeah, it's still just dragging on, though.
Yeah, it is.
2020, bro.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Expect the unexpected.
Nothing works out quite right.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, it looks like Felicity Huffman completed her sentence for her involvement in the college admissions scandal. She had, of course, that little bit of jail time. She also had community service and then supervised release. And as of yesterday, she completed everything. So she is done with her debt to society. In other news, It looks like Mike Tyson is preparing for his huge fight against Roy Jones Jr. That's coming up right around Thanksgiving. And Mike is putting out music now.
And it's a banger.
It's a EDM song. Ooh. Not what I expected from Mike, but Mike doesn't give you anything that you expected. He is squirrely, if nothing.
Yeah.
And so he's teamed up with an LA-based band called Tiki Lau, and they've done this track. It's titled Mike Tyson, and it's an EDM debut.
That is rough.
Yeah, if that was playing in his head, I could see why he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear.
Wake up.
I wonder how Holyfield feels about that. He's dropping that in his song.
Yeah. I think he's probably used to it. The joke's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah. He's got to just take it. What are you going to do? And finally here, Arnold Schwarzenegger is on the mend after he had to have a new aortic valve installed in his heart. The 73-year-old took to Twitter to talk about the team of doctors that did his surgery and letting everybody know that he feels fantastic. He's in Cleveland where he had the surgery and is hoping to get a full-on recovery. So, wow, crazy stuff. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
KVJ Show is all over social media. Find us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What are you thinking about today, Jay Bird?
So I know you all know this if you're a dog owner, but be careful because the alligators are out. I was walking my sister's dogs, and there was the biggest gator right on the shoreline of her lake, just looking around, just looking to snack at something. I Facebook Lived it, and of course, as soon as I start Facebook Living it, the gator gets camera shy and starts to go underneath.
It disappears.
It didn't disappear, but it wasn't the greatest footage. You could still see the gator, but it was so much. It was so right in front of me, and then I'm grabbing my camera. I'm trying to be all still. The thing started kind of milling around towards the middle. But, I mean, it was close enough to where if it wanted to run and sprint at me, it probably would have got me. So just be careful. Of course, I put it on social media, and there's always that one douche that goes, "Oh, wow, a gator in Florida. How impressive." Dude, it's a gator. They're cool to look at. It's like when we talk about sharks and there's a hammerhead that's been seen on the shoreline. Oh, wow, that's really cool. A shark in Florida. Yeah, dude, some of us like sharks. Some of us like gators. I bet you're real fun at parties. Oh, a party? There's food here at a party? Yeah, gators and sharks are cool, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
I will sit and watch a gator forever. I think they're fascinating.
They are.
And the one in West Palm that I saw right down the street from here was a biggin. It was a big-ass gator.
Yeah.
It was not small by any means. So just be careful.
A bag, huh? Big-ass gator.
It was a bag. A big-ass gator.
And they love to snatch a dog.
They do.
So you got to be super careful.
You really do got to be careful. So do those lakes have moccasins in them?
I'm sure.
They probably have in Florida. You never know. Anything could have anything.
I know the canals usually have moccasins, but you know those. You go into a townhouse complex or an apartment complex. They always have those man-made lakes. Do those have moccasins in them?
I would just assume yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Always err on the side of things live here that want to hurt me.
For sure.
Yes, always.
The thing I was wondering, though, you said, that gator taking off running after you. Is anyone ever been chased by a gator? Because, I hear that they can get up to pretty good speeds, but I've never talked to anyone that had a gator come after them. They always, even if you see one and they're big, they're just kind of like, they just chill. Like, they don't really ever seem to turn around and come after you.
We used to go canoeing and rowboating at Jonathan Dickinson State Park. The one you fell in with the water, the body of water where you and Panda flipped your...
Yeah.
That thing is littered with gators and moccasins. A ton of them are in there.
I know. After we flipped the canoe and then we flipped it back over, thank God these people were there. They just swooped in. I don't know where the hell they came from. These people came like out of the trees and they grabbed our canoe and flipped it over because it was filling with water. And this guy pulls like a rope out of his backpack. He ties it to the front of the canoe and makes a pulley system with the tree to drain all the water out of the canoe. And I'm just watching all of this from the water.
That's a man right there.
I'd love to be that good.
I mean, this guy was ready for anything, and I was not. Thank God, when I was at my weakest, this man was at his strongest.
I mentioned bufo toads earlier in the broadcast, and they just have a look of being mean. So do gators. Gators just look like they don't want anything to do other than to eat you and your pets. Some animals got a mean look.
They do.
Sharks got a mean look.
Yeah, they're angry.
What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, I've got a big day today. I'm very excited. So after the show, I'm going to fill out the final paperwork to refinance my home. Have you looked into this at all?
Yeah, I'd done it a long time ago.
I'm not smart about, finances. It's not my thing. I'm not a financial guru. But, I have some friends that are, and those people reached out to me and said, yeah, because the interest rate is so low right now.
It is, yeah.
Everybody should be trying to refinance. And people were talking about, back when I got my loan, it was 3.5. And this was like 6 years ago. So 3.5 was decent, but now I'm getting 2.1 and I'm going to shave 10 years off my mortgage.
Wow.
I'm going to pay this thing for 10 years less. It's like, wait, what?
That's smart, yeah.
It's insane. So, yeah, if you're in a house and you don't like your mortgage rate because the percent, if it's 3, if it's, 3.5, whatever, if yours is like mine, look into it because I'm shaving 10 years.
Yeah, I had done that about maybe 10, 15 years ago because same thing had happened where they had low rates. So I'd have to ask somebody, be like, how many times you want to hit that button?
Yeah, when is it good to do it?
Yeah, is it too much to, if you do it once, you like, you need to stop doing it because, you do weird things, it ruins your credit, Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't care about. My credit's okay, but if you can figure out a way to shave 10 years off your mortgage, like that is amazing. And 2.1 is lower than I had even heard, which was 2.5, and that was intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And then they showed me how I could make it 2.1. I'm like, what the hell?
This is very adult.
It's kind of boring and adult.
No, I didn't
What's
say,
on your mind, Kevin?
I didn't say boring. You said boring. Although I agree, but not. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I wasn't chased by a gator this
I
weekend.
wasn't chased by a kid. Although it kind of makes it sound like I was.
Tonto over here is living a pretty crazy life.
Yeah.
What I've got on my mind, one, it was so awesome. A great football weekend. There was so much good stuff. Boy, I'm loving weekends because Virginia, you've got everything going on with NFL, college football, and then you got the World Series going on. It's just all fantastic.
That's a lot.
There's exciting stuff this weekend.
And your Buckeyes made a return to football on Saturday.
They finally got to play. Yeah, they were like one of the last to get going. So I know that some other, the Miami Hurricanes have been playing for a while. So have the Gators and the Knowles.
The World Series is churning out some good games. Too bad nobody's watching it.
Yeah, I've seen that the ratings are really bad for the World Series. Is really bad for the NBA. The NBA lost $1.5 billion this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, they make 8 every year, but they only made 6.5 this year.
I could go on a really boring rant about why the ratings are down, but I won't do that to you, everybody. I just won't.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
There's reasons.
We know that you have a boring rant inside of you.
I do.
It's good to know that you're on deck in case we ever just want to chase everybody away.
I'm giving it to Virginia during commercial break, no matter what. I'm telling you.
And honestly, if my audience, if you guys piss us off today, he will go to that rant. I'll be like, you know what? They deserve it. Give them the baseball rant. They've been misbehaving today.
It's real boring.
Bird, step in here, that boring baseball rant.
It'll make your loan conversation just, I mean, holy crud.
You should combine the things you're up to this morning, Gators and baseball. What if they put Gators on the field during the World Series and the players have to navigate that?
It's how you make baseball better, and I believe that.
Okay.
Baseball's kind of unwatchable these days.
Add a Gator.
And I also wanted to let you know that high school football got going, too, and they had a massive upset on Friday that St. Thomas Aquinas out of Fort Lauderdale, they're like #1 in the world, pretty much.
Always.
And Cardinal Gibbons beat them on Friday. Open it up, 17-10. So.
Get them, Gibbons.
It's so funny. All those schools you always bring up, Cardinal Gibbons and St. Aquinas, they've been around forever. I remember playing against them in high school.
They have been
and
around
they've always
forever,
been competitive.
Yeah, they're always good. Those a lot of those private schools, they do pretty well. So good to see that all football is back, and so I enjoyed that over the weekend. And, you know, another thing, too, have you ever done any kind of, like, equative shopping? Like, I love chicken wings. I eat chicken wings a good bit. And I kind of want to give everybody just a little bit of a heads up because a couple weeks ago, I went and I got the Publix wings. Those Publix wings are, man, they do some really good stuff.
They've started to do grilled wings at Publix.
And that's what I get.
That's relatively new. You find it by the rotisserie chicken.
They're big, they're juicy.
They're hot.
They're of good size, and the price is very affordable. And then over the weekend, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. You know, they got those little cauliflower bites that I wanted so badly.
Yes.
And I got that. I just got the cauliflower bites and 10 wings, and it was $30. And I was like, that just seems like a lot.
Well, that's because it is.
And I had a Publix wing right next to the Buffalo Wild Wing. I'm telling you, I think the Publix
Really?
blasted it.
You talk about those buffalo cauliflower little thingies.
Yeah.
To me, the key to make those good, if the cauliflower is hard, it's not good. It's got to be soft
It does,
like
yeah.
chicken. It's all how you prepare it.
It does, yeah. That's kind of what it is. So if you try to eat more vegetable and all that, it's kind of like your version of junk food. Yeah, it's the best that you can get.
It's cheating vegetable style.
It is. And you can't cheat vegetable stuff.
You can't.
It's not as
Vegetables.
fun.
There are fat vegetarians.
Yeah.
There are fat vegans.
So that was kind of like my little. I'm gonna start doing the side by side quantitative and qualitative analysis of chicken wings.
Kevin,
I might have spreadsheets. I might have this whole thing diagram, but in a head-to-head battle from over the weekend, I'll tell you who won.
I understand that there's a pandemic going on. Some restaurants are hurting real bad. I'm talking about pre-pandemic. Some of the sit-down restaurant prices are ridiculous. It doesn't take that much to make those meals.
Yeah.
And I know they got to make a profit, but I think it's a little like you're talking about though. That's obscene.
It is. You want to feel like, okay, you get it. You're paying a little bit more, but when you feel like you're paying a lot more, and you're just like, you walk away from some of these meals, they going, that wasn't worth it.
I won't say the name of the place, but people always brag about their pizza. So their big pizza, you would get it for $28, and it just wasn't worth it. It was a regular sized pizza for $28, and just because they claim to be fancier, they're adding so much more, and it wasn't that good.
I love when you find those places where you feel like you're getting, like you are. I feel when you walk out of there, you feel like you've robbed the place. Yes. You're like, I got so much good food for this amount of money. Like, this should not be legal. That's the kind of deals that I'm looking for.
That's okay.
And
All
you
right,
hate it. You hate it when you flip it around. You're going, I paid all that for that.
You would hate the delivery game right now.
I don't do it because
it's so
of that.
much money.
Yeah, it's too inflated. That's why I don't ever do that. I just get my lazy butt off the couch and go pick it up. So, all right, anything you ever want to add into the discussion, you can. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9760. You can hit us up here on the KVJ Show.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Hey, I want to say thanks to Tanya. She sent an email to the KVJ Show. She said, I love that game, Like Island, and I'm so sorry that the show Love Island is not on right now because I used to like hearing all of those clips of people saying, like. Well, here's another one. Cody from Big Brother.
Oh, he does this a lot.
Uses like at an alarming rate.
We featured him before.
Okay. Well,
this is a new clip. Other than the one that we featured him before, he is bad.
This is from an Apple podcast Big Brother gossip show called Strong as Frick, and here is Cody from Big Brother on this podcast talking. Now,
But it's the audio from the show, and they're playing it on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So it's Cody in the Big Brother house, but he is just abusing the word like.
people would want to just sit and listen to the audio from the TV show Big Brother.
Oh, Kevin, you can subscribe to a channel where you get the Big Brother feed 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it costs money.
But you're watching that, right?
You're watching that,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
I can't imagine just wanting to listen to Big Brother.
Well, there's
conversations.
podcasts where they extrapolate clips and then talk about them and their ramifications.
And you know, these days, these podcasts, they play video with it. It's all fancy these days. A lot of them
okay.
are on YouTube.
Well, here is one of the Apple Podcast ones that they have, and this is Cody and his appearance on there in a 32-second clip. We play the game by asking how many times could he drop like. Usually a good liker is somebody that can, drop about one like every 2 seconds. So if
Yeah.
it's 32, 16 would be a strong number.
I believe our record is 20. I think I thought we got 20 with the Like
that
Island.
feels right, yeah.
Okay.
19 or 20, but we haven't gone past that.
Okay, guesses on this. Over-under is 16. Do you think Cody goes over or under, Virginia?
Over.
You're going to say over. Okay, over 16.
For a dude, he's probably one of the likiest dudes.
If it's a clip from the show, he lies a lot to get himself out of stuff. So when he tries to lie and finagle himself out of a situation, he uses the like as a crutch.
He does, okay.
So I'm gonna go. Yeah, he's got over 20 on this clip.
Okay, you're both going over. I will, just to be devil's advocate, I'll go under.
Okay.
See what that
You don't
is.
feel good about that though.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm just kind of hedging my bets here. Trying to play it safe. All right, see how many likes we can get out of Cody from Big Brother in this 32-second clip.
I was like, why am I hitting the wall at 80 miles an hour? And
I think
Nicole's
it was
like,
because the way that you were going over the moon.
no, because even when I was like trying to pull, like, it was like,
Okay, that was a 3 count.
That was a three count.
Super fast. So he started off slow, but he's made up for it. So he's at 3 right now.
it would have been a whole nother thing. I would have had to have like leaned back and then like pulled up. It would have been like, you're just like.
Okay, that's another 4.
He likes the like is what he does. I got 7 right now.
That's a strong tactic when you double like, you like the like.
Yes.
Then that's the way to really start making up numbers. He's at 7 right now.
That's what I got. What do you got, Virginia?
That sounds right.
All right.
He is 16 seconds in. We're halfway there. Okay, 15 seconds left here in this clip.
You're like dancing on this paddle, and I'm like this.
Okay, I think we got 2 in there.
You got
Yep.
9.
Okay.
I like hit the wall hard the first time, hit it again. I was like,
I did that once.
Okay, 2 more.
Yeah, I think I got 12.
11?
Or 11.
I think we're 11.
I was like, I am not going to stay on this. This is like how I thought I was going to. I was like, this is bad.
Okay, and then another 3, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think we're up to 14.
Kevin, you won. Wow. I expected more out of you, Cody.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Island is the worst one. Because usually, like Island, both people in the conversation are liking each other to death. That's why you have such high numbers on Love Island.
I think what really helps is, when one person gets the other person going.
It's when they're telling a story.
Like I said, it's contagious.
It is.
It's like a virus.
It's like
It's
a virus.
like a virus. It's the like virus. It's exactly what it is. All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes, got a couple questions on email that we want to answer for you, including somebody wanting to know about their sexy Halloween costume for Saturday night. Is it age appropriate? Well, if you ever want a perspective on anything, you can send us an email. We'd be happy to bring it up and talk about it for you and give you our thoughts on it, and also tap into the audience, too, and see what they have to say. Got an email here. It said, I'm 37 and some of my girlfriends are even closer to 40, and we have an adult Halloween gathering coming up on Saturday night, and we were all discussing our costumes. We had a debate that was split down the middle as to whether or not we would be judged harder for going with the sexy costumes at our age. We're all in good shape. We could pull it off, but does it make us look more desperate for 40-year-olds to be wearing sexy Halloween costumes that typically you would see on a 24-year-old?
Get out of your head. Have fun. It's Halloween. You get
Yeah.
one night.
If you feel like your body's looking good and you want to show it off in a sexy Halloween costume, you do it.
Age appropriate. Give me a
People
break.
are always going to have something to say. That's not
Yeah.
going to change based on your outfit.
Or your age.
Or your age. They're going to always have some little snide peanut gallery comments. You got to not care and just be happy.
On your deathbed, is it really going to matter that somebody said, "Oh, you're 37 and wearing a sexy"?
Oh, you're a mother. Your boobs shouldn't be out. Well, who do you think fed that kid? The boobs.
Yeah, what she said.
These boobs fed that kid.
And if you wanted to put a number on it, yeah, you're right. There will be some people that will find fault with, you going sexy at 40. But we asked the question on our Twitter and we said, does it look more desperate for a woman near 40 to wear a sexy Halloween costume compared to a 24-year-old, even if she can pull it off? And 66% said, nah, look at J-Lo.
Yeah, and then the 40% are doing just what Twitter does, bitch and moan about nothing.
Yeah. 34% said, keep it classy. But
Yeah, but they're boring, and no one wants to be around that 34%.
yeah, so there you go. 34% are boring.
They're not invited to the
They're
party.
also jealous because maybe they can't pull it off.
Or they're just living up on their holy hill, just judging everything that walks by.
Here was another one. Somebody had had an issue about their looks. Said, I had my hair in pigtail braids at work. I'm in my early 30s and I work in retail. And my boss pulled me aside and said to never wear my hair like that again, as no woman over the age of 12 should be wearing pigtails in a professional setting. I did what she said, but I was curious if you think that she's right. Are pigtails just for young girls and totally unprofessional for adult women?
Are pigtails and braids different?
Yes. So if you have pigtails, usually those are like a ponytail. So you part down the middle, and then pigtails would be like one on each side, where it's like the elastic is close to your skull, and then the pony hangs down like on a pony. Braids, if you've got two of them, are same thing. You part down the middle, but you have a braid on the right and the braid on the left, and they usually hang like in front.
That's what I'm going for. I'm trying to grow braids. I'm trying to the long ones. That's my goal.
Willie Nelson braids.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm trying to
That's
grow.
braids,
braids.
huh? Okay.
Pigtails
Love it.
are different, although you can make a pigtail a braid, but that would mean that they were up high like this,
Okay.
with a braid coming out.
It's the same situation. I get that your boss is saying it, but wear what you want. Is that really inappropriate to wear pigtails as an adult?
It looks youthful and fun, but I mean, if it makes you happy, youthful and fun can put you in a great mood and make you a great employee and productive. And
These complaining people need to get a hobby.
yeah, two different girls that we work with both wore braids last week, and I thought they both looked adorable.
I love both looks. I think you can do both looks and not be considered weird. Just do you. Although that's weird that the boss would say that.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of office it is, because that might make a difference
Said
too.
retail. I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe
Retail. I mean, retail. You're not a lawyer,
Right.
You're like you're not handling $1 million cases where everybody's wearing a suit. You're in retail. You can't wear a little pigtail or a braid.
I'd love an attorney with pigtails. I want a lawyer with pigtails.
Yeah, I guess the thing I was wondering, like for people that don't know, like have you seen the Harley Quinn Virginia? Is that
Yes.
okay? Is that pigtails? Or are those?
Let me pull up a picture of
I
her.
don't know the difference.
Harley Quinn.
I got a picture right there. Is that pigtails braids?
Those are pigtails.
Those
but
are
those
pigtails.
That's a high pigtail.
And it looks
it-
amazing. I
It
love
hangs
it.
low.
Okay, if you're watching KVJ TV, I got the photo up there on it.
It's adorable.
Love it. The
Yeah.
boss is an idiot.
Yeah, but I guess the boss is the boss. And, maybe they have a certain culture that they like to have in their retail store. And they're like, we like to cultivate this certain look, and you're not in what our brand is.
What's the name of their store? No Smiles?
They could be jealous of you too because
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're younger and cuter, and this is just like a little power move that bitchy bosses like to do.
I love braids and I love pigtails on a woman. I think it looks great.
If you want to keep working there, you probably shouldn't wear your hair like that again. But I would start evaluating where I'm going to go next.
Sean in the chat room says no pigtails ever in a professional setting. You're at work.
But it's not professional. If it's a retail clothing store, I don't look at that the same as like doctor, lawyer, accountant. Like I can see maybe, if you're in a law office handling, your biz.
Yeah.
It's kind of an old school mentality to tell somebody not to wear their hair. Oh, it's 2020, y'all. You mean to tell me you can't wear that? You should be able to wear a mohawk if you're a lawyer. I'm not sure you're gonna get a lot of clientele, but it should be right.
Yeah, I think this really just has to do with where you work. Because I can imagine that I bet Disney probably has a lot of protocols on their looks and on things that they, do. I know my wife who has tattoos, she's in a lot of work environments where tattoos must be covered. And so people have these policies on they want their employees to have a certain look to fit in with their culture and their brand.
Ruth in the chat room, no pigtails, and that's in all caps. So that means she's really upset in a professional office setting. It's childlike. Not everyone looks at it as childlike. Maybe back in the 40 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just young and fun, and I think we maybe shouldn't care what people do with their hair.
I get back like in the Shirley Temple days. Yeah, pigtails for little girls, but plenty of adults wear pigtails now. It's changed.
Well, Amy said, yeah, Disney has a pretty strict dress code, which I imagined. And Zach said, retail stores are brutal on uniform. They are really particular to make sure that everybody kind of embodies the standard. I have to put my hair up in a headband, then a beanie, then a hairnet. So there's a lot of things that go in there. So that's probably what it is they don't feel like it fits into the brand of whatever the retail store is.
Stephanie says, gives me porn vibes. What are you watching, Stephanie? Whoa.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. I think on that one, Stephanie said Publix has a ton of rules. So if you work at a place and your boss is like, that's inappropriate for the hair, then if you don't like it, then find another job.
So if I wanted to work at Publix and I wanted to rock a mohawk, that might be against protocol?
If they said we don't allow mohawks, and you would have to either decide how much do I love this mohawk or this job.
Do you trust the guy making your sub with the mohawk?
Is he wearing a hairnet?
He's got a hairnet on.
I would think a hairnet would be tough with a mohawk.
It would be tough.
Just a thought. So if he's like rocking a mohawk and no hairnet and he's like shedding into my sub, I might be like, yeah, can that guy wear a hairnet?
A mohawk just says certain things, and if you don't want to say things like, I'm edgy, I don't give an F, then don't wear a mohawk, because as soon as people see the mohawk, they're like, oh no, he don't give a F.
Would you trust a surgeon with a mohawk? Got a great track record, unbelievable. The numbers backs him or backs her, but they got a mohawk.
Yeah, I mean, if they've got the numbers on their side, I think you would have to. Although the surgeon with the mohawk does have to work a little harder to convince you that he's not on the edge of doing something crazy.
Man, people are against a mohawk. I can see him getting mad in the chat room.
And some people against pigtails too. So there you go. I got a text from an elementary school teacher, said, hey, I'd like for you to dig a little bit deeper in that comment you had where you're talking about tattoos, and she said, is it appropriate to have an arm sleeve of tattoos? Can I show it, or should I cover it up every day? I think it depends upon, where you teach, and a lot of these instances come down to your boss. I don't have a problem with it. I think that tattoos aren't as demonized as they used to be, but I do know that in some conservative circles that you still do have people that look weird at them, and they would like them to be covered. And there are certain professions where they're like, oh, that's just one where you shouldn't be all yadded up.
Every workplace is going to be different. You'll have some people that don't care and some that really do care. And it's a whole profession. You can't just say teachers, can they have tats? Well, it's all about the individual school.
Yeah.
And again, the culture is constantly changing. I feel like in the 90s, if someone had a tattoo, ooh, they are extreme. And it's just not the case anymore. I mean, I just think as time goes on, the stance on tattoos will even lessen than what they even are now.
Now, one number we did on like the women who were almost 40 and they said, yeah, we want to dress sexy if we aged out of it. And 66% of people were like, yeah, it's cool. 34% were like, oh, I don't know. That's just not. That really seems to be about the breakdown on a lot of these issues. Whether you talk about pigtails at work, whether you talk about tattoos, and 66% are probably cool. But I know because my wife is very yadded up and she has to dress like she's Amish. She has long sleeves and covering up all of her tattoos, and I think it's been requested and she's required to do so where she is, and she's a school teacher. And what usually seems to happen is there's a comment or two coming from somebody and the little chatty Cathy's onto the side.
It's never the majority. It's always the small percentage of people. And what sucks is that small percentage of people is starting to get their way.
The vocal minority.
Yeah.
Yes, Virginia.
And I think a lot of times managers, they just are like, look, I've got so many issues. Like, would you just do me this small little favor? I know it's your own expression, your individualism, but I'm getting worn down to the point where I can't get other things done because I've got these parents, like, they think education will stop if we have a teacher with tattoos. Like, kids can't learn.
No.
They're distracted, or you're a heathen. It's just, and I'm trying to get other things done, and this minor little problem is causing big issues.
That's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Yeah, people are exhausting because they put so much focus on the wrong things.
Well, 66% of people are just worried about. They're trying to get through their life. They're trying to make sure
we got bigger problems than whether our teacher has tattoos.
They're trying to make sure their family is fed and everyone's peaceful in their family and everyone's safe. That's what they're concentrating on.
But that annoying 34% is going to be so hung up on your tattoos that that's all they can talk about. They will go home at night and obsess over the fact that their kid's teacher has tattoos.
I mean, you know where my stance lies here. I'm part of the ink community. I think you know.
Yeah, you got inked up recently.
Well, 2.5 years ago, not that recent.
It feels like it was just yesterday.
I know.
Yeah. So that's probably about it. And when it comes to employers, there are dress codes, and I think, unfortunately, reasonably, you got to be expected to abide by those codes.
That's why
if you want the job.
I hated working at the fancy golf course. The one fancy golf course that I worked at, you were not allowed to have any facial hair at all. I thought that was dumb. I'm like, why can't you have facial hair? If you keep it nice and clean, and I did. They still didn't like it. I had to produce a doctor's note.
For a soul patch.
For a soul patch.
How the hell did you get a doctor's note for a soul patch?
I knew a guy who was not a doctor.
Oh, so it was fake.
It was a fake doctor note.
And they bought it?
They totally bought it. I was allowed to have my soul patch. People don't want to deal with doctor notes either.
Get it together, Schmadmiral Schmo.
Oh, right. Jeez. Just 15, 20 years ago.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, put me in golf jail.
Come looking for you? Jay Bird, you tricked us with your soul patch doctor's note? That's on your manager. If your manager actually accepted a doctor's note for a soul patch, he's a moron.
It was our human resources department, and I believe one of the human resources women listened to our show. She's emailed before into the show.
A soul patch is not a medical condition.
And now the fact that they bought that, it's kind of awesome.
They may have just been like, all right, it's not worth it.
We don't want to fight with this guy. He's obviously crazy.
I mean, this guy's bringing in fake doctor notes for facial hair.
Let's find another reason to fire him.
It's the same place where... Yeah, never mind. I won't say that story.
Did you leave on your own, or did they let you go?
I left on my own. They actually wanted my services.
They liked you.
Wow. Somebody texted and said, yeah, I'm a firefighter, and my department makes me cover my tattoos while neighboring departments don't have to. It's very annoying, and it's an old school mentality.
It is old school.
It's probably all about, who your captain is.
I actually think a firefighter coming in all tatted up, I feel safer. I'm like, okay, this son of a biscuit's going to eat this fire.
But if his captain's an old school guy.
Crew cut.
We don't believe in tattoos.
And it may be the community you serve, too.
True.
Boy, in South Florida, we have everything from very liberal to very conservative, and I've seen some really annoying people in some of those conservative places where they're just everything is by the book. And if they complain enough to the captain's got to be like, look, the people that we serve do not like your tattoos.
Community standards.
Bruh.
Yep.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Hey, I wanted to give you a couple quick birthday shout outs here. Anthony turning 12. Little shout out there from Mommy, Sissy, Nanny, Daddy, Nene, and Sophie. Also got a happy birthday shout out to Maddie She had a birthday on Saturday. Molly had sent that in. And the amazing Terry had a birthday over the weekend as well. So I want to give him a birthday shout out.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Got a birthday you want to get on the KVJ show, you can let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com, MAIL at kvjshow.com. Some of the questions from the last discussion, somebody said, why does Kevin keep saying clanked? I don't know. It's just it's the only word that I can think of for...
You were clanked, so you used the word clanked.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't even hear you say
is
it.
Is that odd?
I didn't hear you say it.
Do you know what the word clanked is, or is that just a weird... Okay, all right.
Yeah. When you're clanked, you're like, I'm clanked mentally,
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of... I don't know how to describe clanked other than just say clanked. So.
Hey, everyone's got something to say, Kev.
Okay, I was just curious. I thought maybe I lost the room on that one.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
That's a perfect description of when you have a bunch of pressure on you and then you're just like, your brain locks.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably feel that way at the end of a day where you're spun around and we have so many things we have to do. Especially, I can't imagine when you got kids and you got to remember this, and that. Then you got your own job and everything else. At the end of the day, you're clanked.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, all right. Apparently somebody didn't. They were very confused by that. So, all right, just wanted to make sure I was clear. This is one of the more fascinating stories. And I don't know if I would put this in the category of haunts, as I would just put it in the category of mysterious. But it's happening here in South Florida. So I figured I would start off with this as we talk about some of the greatest ghost stories in South Florida. This is the story of the Coral Castle. Now, what's great about the Coral Castle here in South Florida is nobody can explain how it was made. It really is impossible. And it's a story about this really interesting 26-year-old Latvian immigrant named Edward Leedskalnin. Very odd, long name. This guy was small, short, skinny, not at all a muscular dude, and unfortunately not overly attractive. And he falls in love with Agnes Scuffs, who was only 16 at the time. There's a 10-year difference. This is 1913, but still, this is kind of weird. So they're going to get married, and the night before the wedding, she breaks it off, apparently because of the age difference. But there might have been other things involved. So Edward moves to Florida City in 1920, still trying to get over his grief. This is 7 years later. And he goes basically into seclusion for the next 28 years. And at night, he works quarrying rock and chiseling out the Coral Castle. It's an 1,100-ton monument to this Agnes Scuffs. And he works secretly by night. He's under lamplight. Nobody knows what he's doing. He carves a throne room, a telescope, a fountain, a sundial, furniture, walls, and this Herculean feat happens by this 5-foot-tall, 100-pound man. 100 pounds, and he's only 5 feet tall. And yet these massive, heavy stones are moved into place and shifted around to a way that nobody can explain. Even with rods, pulleys, all these kind of different things, it would have been impossible for this guy working alone, which he did, to be able to move. And in 1936, he somehow moved the entire castle to Homestead. And he would tell people when they asked him, be like going, how did you do this, man? You're 5 foot tall, 100 pounds. He would say that I have learned the secrets of the pyramids. Whatever means they use to make the Egyptian pyramids, this Edward says that he used to build the Coral Castle.
That's crazy.
And the thing about it, he died before giving up his secrets. And they have all kinds of scientists, physicists, everything else checking out this Coral Castle, trying to figure out how he did it. And they said he must have had some knowledge of laws, physics, weights, balances, even maybe electromagnetic energy, which they believe that alien spacecraft might be using to travel. And that is the only way that he was able to construct the Coral Castle the way he did. Now, this guy died in 1951. Secrets go to the grave with him. It became a museum in the 1980s, and you can check it out. But there's been a lot of specials about the Coral Castle in Homestead.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the greatest mysteries where you look at this dude, he's 5 foot tall, 100 pounds, and he made this amazing feat that physically there's no way he could have done it.
I don't want to speak for Virginia, but we definitely believe when it comes to the pyramids, aliens had everything to do with that. Am I right, V?
I don't know. I can barely tell you what's going on here today in this moment. It's things I've seen with my own eyes I don't understand. How can you say anybody did anything with the pyramids that we are going to be able to confirm?
It's a fascinating story, though, about the Florida dude. The fact that he was a loner, he didn't have anyone around. Even if he had a crew of people, it still doesn't explain how they were able to do that.
Impressive. Yeah, that's why people, when they saw it, they just marveled at it, and they were like, how did you take this really heavy coral and form it the way you did and then move it how you did?
Some people believe aliens have come down here on Earth, Virginia, and have given those certain people secrets to the universe.
It is our famous South Florida Haunts Week, where we tell you the best ghost stories right here in South Florida. We'll get to those, but apparently Larry here from Lake Worth Beach has got his own ghost story. Hello, Larry.
Hey guys, what's going on?
You're telling me about the pink castle that is off Southern and Parker and West Palm Beach?
Yeah, man, I used to live there. There's like a main building.
The ghosts are silencing you. Sorry, go ahead. Start again there, Larry.
Sorry about that. Hey, so yeah, I used to live there, and there's like a main building that looks like it probably was like a 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, like huge castle type house, right? And then right behind it, there's another unit, which I'm guessing would have been like, servants' quarters, butler's quarters, whatever. And I lived in that 1-bedroom apartment back there. It's since been converted. I want to say it was built in like the 1800s or something like that. Okay. And there was a plaque on the building that I didn't see before I moved in. And it said that, there was like a horse-drawn carriage that could be seen from time to time walking around the grounds.
And you would hear it, or you would just see it?
I never saw it, but I did hear things like, outside my window at night, but I didn't really think anything of it. And then a friend of mine came over one day, and she was the one who pointed it out, and she was like, yeah, I'm not coming back over here again. I don't do ghosts.
Really?
I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah. And it's called the Pink Castle. People know this by name?
No, that's just what I call it. It's actually called the Vansonian Castle. It's, like I said, right off of Parker and Southern.
Okay. I will have to go by there and check that out. I wonder if there's a backstory as to why you had haunted horses.
Perhaps I'll bring out my ghost team.
Okay. There you go.
Will you do that cool horse sound with your mouth, too?
It's a pretty good horse.
Look, that's horror. A ghost horse? You wake up and you go get some water or something, and then there's a horse in your kitchen?
There's something scary about ghost horses.
There is.
Yeah.
They always, they're so 1800s.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I'm not really scared of a ghost pig. But,
yeah.
But a ghost horse is, for some reason, eerie.
Although, if you walked in your kitchen and you saw a ghost pig, it would horrify.
I would think it's like all the bacon coming back to get me or something. Yeah, that would be kind of scary.
Virginia's awfully quiet. Perhaps she is scared.
I just don't play with this kind of stuff. Even when we were at the Riddle House at the Yesteryear Village at the South Florida Fair, I don't know. I don't want to mess with it. I've heard of ghosts attaching to you and then they come home with you, and I don't need that crap.
True or false? Virginia got yelled at the Riddle House because she was talking way too loud.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, it's very true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so true. She was downstairs trying to rip on me. I'm upstairs. I can hear her doing her Virginia witchy act.
Yeah.
She had a little bit of an audience, and she whispers.
They were loving it. Okay, all it takes is one person to start giggling, and I just have to keep going.
Yeah, you gotta go for it.
Whispers Saniki over here, and the woman goes, "You need to quiet down, or you need to leave." And I loved every minute of it.
The woman that worked there, not a fan of the act.
Not at all.
She don't like mixing humor in with her horror.
No.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, Whispers, get the hell out of here."
Yeah. Humor does kill horror, by the way. Yeah, it does. On Friday, Jaybird, you were telling us that Friday was going to be a big day for you. You're going to find out some things about your health and maybe about your house as well. Did you get the answers you were looking for?
Unfortunately, I did not.
What?
No.
I have my doctor's office called and said they're going to do a virtual meeting with me on Monday
Okay.
at 1:30 p.m.
Okay, so today.
And then I got a follow-up email saying they want me in the office now, which made me scared and even more worried. So I got to call them at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock to see, am I doing virtual or do they want me to go in? So no answers on that. And then I did not get any update on my house. So it was a long weekend.
Okay.
I thought the guy did the appraisal of the house. It was supposed to be back on Thursday.
You know how this stuff goes. I mean, they said maybe Thursday. I thought it was going to be Thursday. It's not back yet.
I just had my house appraised. The guy came, he did it in one day. He did it on a Thursday. It was prepared on a Friday.
I don't know what to tell you, dog. I can only give you the information that I got. The person I'm working with, I trust. They just don't have the numbers yet.
Oh, the appraiser sounds lazy.
Well, I mean, that's what you do. You like to get on the microphone and make these crazy claims. So my personal
appraiser was amazing.
So my personal life can suck, you know.
And you got to hear her.
Yeah,
she goes home to quiet to Cuesta.
Positive K. It's tough living with negative V.
No, I hear you. Well, what's tough is anytime you have news that's hanging out there and you think that you have that end date and then you are told, no, not yet, because you need that conclusion. You need
for
the resolution.
Sure. I thought I was going to have it. The house thing's going to work out regardless. I mean, they'll come in when they're ready to come in and tell me what's going on. The blood work is worrisome only because I haven't been feeling well.
Yeah.
And I just had to wait, another 2 or 3 days. But I should get answers today.
Okay. Well, I was hoping to get an answer because I'm very concerned for your nards.
If it's nothing they tell you on the phone, if they make you come in face to face, then something's going on.
That makes you feel better, huh?
Well, no, she never makes me feel. She's doing her Virginia act. She's a kitten off of the microphone. She's making her money right now.
That's what she does.
She's a sweetheart. She's the most sweetest person off of the air. She's got to keep the lights on.
Give me my nickel.
Okay. So Saturday, I believe, is the deadline for Halloween when you said that you'd have a new house or Virginia can box your nards.
Don't say deadline until I get my results back.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I do want to call somebody out when we get to call them out.
We do. We can do that here in just a second because I know there's a lot of call them outs to do.
It's about my health, and some people just really don't have a clue.
Okay. You need to call somebody out for just not doing something smart or even to praise somebody. You can do that too. 877-979-WRMF. All right, call them out. Who do you need to call out? Jaybird, let you have the floor here because you said somebody needs to be called out here today.
Well, somebody that I know called me up and tried to make me feel better about the whole blood testing. They heard us talking about it on Friday. So like, hey man, just want to let you know that heard you talk about your blood test and everything's going to be okay. And then they proceeded to tell me that their mother and their brother both found out that they had cancer through a blood test. And then he started saying, your symptoms do sound a little rough. You better make sure you don't have cancer. So he tried to call and make me feel better and then did nothing for about 10 minutes. Tell me about cancer and all of this stuff and how you can find it in blood tests. And I got off the phone with him feeling not very good. So I think he was trying to make me feel better. And
Isn't that amazing?
Holy crud, did he not make me feel
Yeah. If you see him come up on your caller ID, just let that go to voicemail.
It's like the same people that would call me during when I was giving my kidney away. They'd call me just to tell me all of the terrible things that could go wrong under the knife.
Yeah.
Like, why are you calling me? No. So I want to call that positive SOB out.
Okay. You got any other call-em-outs here today? You can let us know, 877-979-WRMF. I know that a lot of people are calling you out for your cultivated new hair that you got straightened over the weekend. Had some photos and posted one up.
It's produced a lot of interesting comments, Kevin.
Yeah, just kind of looking through some of the ones that were on there. Somebody said, why does Jaybird look like a cult leader? That was one. Another one says, Jason is morphing into a Karen with this new haircut. Kevin and Virginia better be careful or Jaybird might demand to speak to their manager.
Jason runs from management, so I know
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
I have the principal theory. As soon as I see him, I never wanted to walk in front of the principal because that's just trouble.
Trouble.
If a manager's walking, I go the other way.
Go the other way, hide, get behind furniture, whatever you got to do.
Somebody else said, Jaybird, you look like our lesbian aunt who only drops by on the holiday.
Just the holidays.
Just the holiday. And somebody said, OMG, this photo reminds me of the first time I saw Bruce Jenner transforming into Caitlyn.
Yeah, I had a lot of those.
Okay.
It doesn't look like you're transitioning.
You know how people are. They got things to say. Look, I'm growing my hair down to my ass now. We're gonna get a ponytail going so long. If they hated it before, they're gonna really hate it.
You look like the guy that lingers too long at the juice bar in the yoga studio. He's just hanging out because he's got no place to go. But you've also started wearing like yoga beads and necklaces.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole thing.
It's not just hair. There's a whole
Right.
new transformation here
There's layers
Yes.
of man.
that is spiritual and wisdom,
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
what it feels
My
like.
wisdom's telling me that you should shut off Virginia's microphone.
You like to see Jaybird's new cultivated look and comment, you can check out KVJ TV.
Hey man, it's all gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Downward
I
dog.
don't know who looks more like a hippie now, you or Denny's.
I think I'm out hippieing him.
Yeah, are
Yeah.
you having a hippie off with
are.
a real hippie?
We are. Yes. With me suits and Denny's, we're not cutting our hair for at least another 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Okay, yeah, you guys all have really long, glorious hair.
We're doing it,
so
together.
jealous. It's like these guys are taunting me, Virginia.
They are. They're like, we know
I
you
know.
can't grow it,
Yeah.
so we're going to grow it in your
It's like they're
face.
rubbing it in. I mean, how, like, these guys are jerks, aren't they?
Someone also accused me of trying to culturally appropriate an Indian, a Native American
Oh,
Indian.
really?
I got
Okay.
that a couple
All right.
times.
Okay. All right.
You do have like a brown as a biscuit like coloring to you.
You
It's
are
lovely.
very tan, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been out playing tennis?
Yeah, I just been getting just some. This is how my skin looks when I go
He's been
outside.
out riding a horse shirtless.
No, I still got a gut.
He does yoga moves on a horse.
That'd be amazing. Couple other call 'em outs. People have texted in. Somebody said, yeah, I'd like to call out the guy in the black Mustang that stopped on I-95 northbound before 45th Street to take a whiz on the left emergency lane. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, it's so weird because I've never known anybody that's douchey in a Mustang.
Right. Somebody said, I also want to call out the a-holes that just bought my first house. They bought it after we completely renovated it top to bottom, then turned around and listed it for 7 days later for $20,000 more than they paid. And they didn't do any work to it. They said they hated the house, so they don't want it anymore.
Dang. Yeah, it's a crazy business, Kev. Those houses.
Yeah, but I guess, once you get rid of it.
you got to let it go.
Well, I
Yeah.
drove by my house, and
the house that your parents had.
yeah, and holy crud, they did a facelift, but a terrible facelift. I mean, it looks brutal. You do kind of get annoyed. Like,
Yeah.
damn, what are you doing in my house? Even though I don't live there anymore.
I had seen that before. My parents, I had worked really hard and put in this like landscaping project, and I drove by years later and they took it all out.
Oh, it does. There's a part of you that it
Yeah.
bothers you a little bit.
I was like, I remember how hard I worked like an entire summer on that thing.
What am I doing here?
They're taking your art away, Kevin.
They really did. Yeah, they really did. All right, you guys ready to think fast here on the KVJ show? Denny's maybe not.
I'll let you my best.
It's Monday.
Some Mondays hit harder than other Mondays. It's the weirdest thing.
It is, right?
Was it? No, it's not raining, Al. That's
It
good.
feels gloomy.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's raining, even though it's not at all.
Kind of a nice day.
It's still wet.
It is nice out right now. I just looked at it. It's gorgeous. Florida skies.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see who can dial it in, dial it up, get the win.
I am the champion, Kevin.
Okay. Very nice. You got the skull brain cap over there.
To prove it.
Put it
Okay.
on. Wear it with pride. You're the champ.
Give me a major headache and it'll mess up my hair.
All right, I've got different categories here. The most sensible answer that is in the quickest gets the point here in Think Fast. This will help me judge. All right, first round here in Think Fast. Name a Halloween candy that starts with the letter C.
Candy corn.
Candy corn. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, Denny's. That's what I thought.
I
I'm over there.
think I just screamed out noises.
Okay, Denny's with the early lead here.
Rubbing the brain for luck.
Yeah, you are. That helped.
Okay, next up, think fast. A horror movie character that begins with the letter J.
Jason.
Jigsaw.
I think it was Virginia, right?
It was.
Yeah, okay.
Bird, get it together.
Yeah, it's your name.
He's like, huh?
Huh?
Okay, Virginia's got one. Denny's has one. Jaybird, the champ, yet to get on the board here.
Damn,
think fast.
champ.
Okay, something you drink in the fall that starts with the letter C.
Cider.
Virginia,
You didn't even finish.
she's good.
I'm not there.
She's good on fall and Halloween.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
Witch
It's
season.
my month,
It's
yeah.
witch season.
Witch season.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. Have to change it up here a little bit. How about this one? A smell you had better recognize on your boyfriend that starts with the letter P.
Perfume.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
There's not even a gap.
Unbelievable. She's pretty good.
This one's worth 5 points.
Okay, let me throw a more challenging one out here. See if Virginia can take it away. She gets one more, she's done. She wins. She's up 3-1 over Denny's. Okay, how about an island that starts with the letter A?
Aruba.
Okay.
Ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda.
All right, Denny.
Most annoying Beach Boys song.
Okay.
Most overplayed.
All right, our champ has been eliminated.
Damn, champ.
Jaybird is out, unfortunately.
I will go man the phones.
How about this one? A Disney attraction that starts with the letter H.
Harry
Halloween
Potter.
Horror Nights.
Oh,
What'd you say, Denny's?
Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right. He's right. No,
Yeah.
wait. Those are both Universal.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Disney attraction that starts with the letter H.
Yeah, yours is universal.
Haunted Mansion.
Virginia
I don't know anything.
gets the win.
Oh,
Just like that. Wow.
she deserved it today.
And it was pretty much all Halloween category.
What a BB. Bloodbath.
All right, Virginia, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Oh, the cap looks great.
Got an email here. Somebody like our thoughts on this. It says, my college girlfriend dropped a bomb on me. Okay. That doesn't sound like fun.
What kind of bomb?
Yeah, what is she to tell you? Or was it an actual physical bomb?
Like a poop bomb?
The email here said, I reconnected with my college girlfriend from 15 years ago on Facebook. I'm married now, and so is she, so we're not looking for anything, just reconnecting.
But that's dangerous.
You're right.
Okay, keep going. Does your wife know you're reconnected? Does her husband know you're reconnected?
After a few weeks of catching up, she drops a bomb on me and tells me that when we broke up back in college and she went back home to New York, she found out months after getting home that she was pregnant.
Whoa.
Our relationship did not end well in college, so she didn't want to contact me to let me know. She was looking to start her life and didn't want a child, but didn't want an abortion either. So after the girl was born, she put the baby up for adoption. She thought now I should know. So somewhere out there, I've got a 15-year-old daughter. Wow, okay.
Oh my gosh,
So let me
that
know
is
15 years later.
crazy.
Now, I've tried to be calm with my ex-girlfriend because I don't want to push her away and lose all contact with what might be any more information about my daughter. So now I am sitting here with this information, having to decide if I should bring this news to my family here and now.
Yes.
I have a wife and a boy and a girl that are 11 and 8. Is this something I bring up? And if so, when and how?
That's so cold to do to somebody, not tell them what's going on.
It is.
But now you can't do that to other people. So you have the information and you should tell everybody in your family. You sit them down, you start with your wife first, and you explain to her what happened. You didn't do anything wrong. No one can be mad at you. But if you try to keep secrets or string this along and don't tell everybody right away, it looks like you have something to hide, and you don't.
Yeah.
That's just not cool to do to somebody either.
No.
If you have a child out there, you have the right to know that, guy or girl.
Of
you have the
course.
right to know
Would you set right out trying to find your 15-year-old daughter?
immediately.
Today.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Well, because I don't want her thinking that I'm a deadbeat
wasn't
dad.
my choice, yeah.
I wanted to be in your life, and
Yeah.
15 years have gone by. It's all been a lie. I've been wanting to be your dad.
If I have a child out there, the child needs to know.
It's
So,
priority one.
Yeah. So there you go. That is not cool. Got an email from a guy that reconnected with his college girlfriend, and she tells him after they had talked for a couple of weeks that, hey, I didn't tell you back in the day when we broke up in college, but when I went home and we had broken up, I was pregnant and I had the baby and put it up for adoption. So he finds out that he's got a 15-year-old daughter that is out there somewhere. And this is an interesting thought because he has his own kids now, 11 and 8, and he's married. And somebody sent in a text and said, here's something to think about. This college girlfriend, is she telling the truth? He said the relationship ended badly. Could this be the ultimate revenge?
It could be. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, but DNA will clear it up real quick if you find who she purports to be your daughter.
Yeah, it'll be easy to find.
I guess, where do you start with something like that? Because somebody texted in and said, I think you should let sleeping dogs lie. There is nothing he can do. If this was in the state of Florida, he's lost all of his parental rights and he will not get any information about this child. Let his wife know, but do not get the rest of the family involved because there is nothing that he can do.
I completely disagree with that statement. There's always something you can do. You don't know all of the variables. It's your daughter. It's your bloodline. You do everything in your power to try to find and connect. Now, it may not work out, but you still try to connect and find your daughter.
And even if you don't have a relationship with her, just for you to be able to say to her, hey, here's where I am. I want you to know that I had no idea you existed, but I want you to know that you are loved. And if you ever want to get together, here's my number.
Well, my question on this, because I thankfully never been in this kind of situation, what is the process of this? Because we're jumping the big hurdle of he's able to just pick up the phone or contact this 15-year-old daughter somewhere. What if that's not the case? Is that always the case that if a kid was put up for adoption, if you were the biological parent, that they will give you the information as to who the kid was adopted to and how to contact them now?
I don't know. I think all adoptions are going to be different. It depends if it was through an agency, was it done in secret, was the sealed papers so that no one could find out what happened. But he can start investigating.
Yeah, in today's day and age, it's easier to find people than it was even 10 years ago. I mean, if it's really your daughter, you know who the mom is, so it's not going to be hard to figure this one out.
Do an Ancestry.com or one of those things where they have your DNA too, because she might have done that.
Rachel Lee in the chat room said that in a clean break adoption, oftentimes the parents don't even tell the kids. So is it possible that his 15-year-old daughter has grown up in a home where she does not even know that she's adopted, that she thinks that she is their biological child? And then do you drop a bomb on her by being like, wait, what? I'm adopted?
Anything is possible, but the truth will set you free. The truth is, if this is all real, he's the dad. She needs to know that. He needs to express that. I just think that's fair for everybody involved.
Somebody texted in, they said this exact same thing happened to my brother over 20 years ago. When he found out about 10 years ago that he had a daughter, he started looking for her. He found her dad and tried to connect with his daughter through the adoptive family, but they asked him not to contact her because they were worried they would upset her emotionally. She was already in college, and I always thought that he should still try to contact her, but he honored their request. What would you do if you were hit with that, where you do get to the family and they're like, do not contact her. She has had a great life and she's doing really well. She's 15. Don't rock her boat for your own.
Unfortunately, life is full of things that don't always go your way. The fact of the matter is, if that's really her father and he had no idea he had a daughter, it's not his fault. He's got the right to reach out to his daughter.
So if the adopted parents told you do not contact her, you would ignore them and contact
Yes, only because
girl.
I've lived through this before with other relatives, and the adults involved in the situation love to tell the kid what to feel, what to think, because the parents don't want anything to rock their boat. But I can tell you, in my situation, the kids wanted to know. It gnawed at them. They didn't want to hurt their parents who were taking care of them, but they still wanted to know who their dad was. And I think they have that right if they really want to know.
Somebody said they may not know that they're adopted. What you do is you put your DNA in a database and let her find you if she knows and is interested. That's the best way I would handle it.
Well, you should do that anyway and also pursue details. And pursue gingerly, get information, and figure out, how you can do it to cause the least amount of damage to her, your daughter. I don't care about all the adults in the situation. The only one whose feelings matter are your daughters. But in the end, don't most people want to know their truth?
Yeah, somebody does text in. I mean, they say, you got to put yourself in the mind of a 15-year-old girl. They say that it's already hard enough being that age and being a teenager with everything that's going on. And they said if the adoptive parents rock the boat even more, that you could really create a lot of emotional trauma for her at a tough part of her life.
Well, there's ways to do it, not to get professionals involved. And maybe you don't do it right this second, but your daughter has a right to know who her real father is, especially if she expresses it.
Yeah, I guess that's where you really get into some tough situations, is how to do it the right way with a girl, especially if she doesn't know that she's adopted, that's your biological child.
It sounds like the birth mother reached out to you because it was on her conscience.
Yeah.
And she wanted to do this to clear her own guilt. And that's healthy. That's good. So if the birth mother is going to help the birth father, I think together they can probably figure this out, even if it's been a secret all these years.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how this would work on that process. And I guess I never even thought about it from the other side of the 15-year-old girl.
Lucas in the chat room says, completely disagree with Bird on that one. The real father has to go through many people first before reaching out to her. Look, I'm not saying that you don't do that. I'm just saying eventually, Lucas, the daughter and the father who didn't know that he had a daughter, they both have a right to know they are in each other's lives, or they are related to each other. Now, yeah, there's probably good ways to do it to where you don't damage the 15-year-old, but eventually that kid's got a right to know, and so does the father. The father has a right to reach out to his daughter. It wasn't his fault.
Somebody say closed adoptions are just that, closed. No info is given to the biological mother. He would have to wait until his daughter is 18. Legally, he isn't even her father. Which, boy, that's tough, huh?
Legally, yes, those words may be true, but think about how you would feel. Think about how most of us would feel. Wouldn't you want to know the truth and know who your real family is? You still love your adopted parents.
Of course.
But this is a very important part of who you are as a person.
I'd be devastated to find out I had a kid and someone didn't tell me about, and that kid was 15 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would try to do everything in my power to get in that kid's life.
Somebody texted in and said, yeah, this happened to my significant other. His child that he found out about was 18, and the child didn't want to meet him.
18.
Yeah. How about that?
And that's the kid's right.
Yeah. That would be really tough. Be like, well, I have a child, and the child doesn't even want to see me.
Well, the kid's 18, and
who knows what the mom said?
There's time that needs to, this is a major bomb, and maybe you don't go right up to the 15-year-old and tell her that, but there needs to be a process.
Yeah. It seems like contacting the adopted parents and trying to have a good relationship with them is important. And people are also bringing up, too, that if there's any future medical issues, to say, look, I don't want to do anything that's emotionally scarring. I would like for my daughter to know about me and have some kind of relationship with her. And if nothing else, as a placeholder, hey, here's my contact information. You're going to need this for, and if there's any kind of medical issues.
But as she gets a little bit older, that needs to be a decision that she makes.
Yeah.
Not her adopted parents. They need to be honest, come clean with her, and then let her make the decision. If she wants nothing to do with her birth dad, then that's her choice too. But even if she's saying she wants nothing to do with him today, 2 years from now, she could grow and mature and realize that, okay, yes, I'm ready now.
Mm-hmm. And no one's saying you leave your family, the ones that raised you. You still love them. Everyone's like, don't leave the family. Of course you don't leave the family. That is your family. That no one can ever take that away. Just sometimes these little waves of complication will just roar into your life. She has a right to know who her biological father is.
Somebody texted in who said, I'm an adoptive mother myself, and the biological dad has no rights. It is a closed case. This 15-year-old has a mother and a father who adopted her and love her. So
screw that guy. Screw the fact that he was lied to. And
you all know nothing about the trauma and need to stop using the wording real family, because who raises you is the real family.
Well, we just said that, and I think we all know that.
We mean genetics.
Yeah.
We don't mean that they were there and loved you like a family. We mean like,
genetics. And this isn't a situation where the father's a deadbeat father, didn't want have anything to do with. That's why this is a unique situation. It's got layers to it that not every situation is going to have. It's completely different than most of the situations we hear about.
Well, it's definitely a bomb. There's no doubt about that. Man, you start really digging deeper on this, you're like, wow, this is a tough situation to try to handle. So, interesting thoughts on that. And apparently it happens to a lot more people than you might think. So, if you got anything to add to the conversation, you can get hold of us, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Anything to add to maybe help out this dad who's trying to now figure out, I got my own 11 and 8-year-old, and I also have a 15-year-old bonus daughter I didn't realize that is out there. So, a lot of decisions that he's going to have to make on that. Coming up here in just a bit, what are the weirdest, most awesome, fun to say words that you use regularly? And how and when do you use them? Number one on this list, nincompoop. What are some fun words like that? I'll give you their top 10 coming up next.
More KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
A couple other insightful texts here about the adopting email that we got. A guy reconnected with his college girlfriend and found out that she had actually had his baby and put it up for adoption 15 years ago. He's got a 15-year-old daughter that's running around out there. And somebody said that one thing I wanted to add into the discussion about how he could contact her or go about it, the registry and the adopted parents and all that kind of stuff. Somebody said that saying that the adoption, saying that the birth father has no rights and that he is not legally her father, it's incorrect. In the state of Florida, both the mother and the father have to sign over their parental rights if the father is known. The fact that she knew who the father was and did not disclose it is illegal and is actually a potential loophole for him to nullify the entire adoption.
Oh.
That's crazy, which then also provides a loophole for him to be able to have the records unsealed before the age of 18 in a private adoption. Now, I believe his email said that she had moved back to New York. I think.
Yes.
So
she wasn't here with the baby.
Right. So that's how they do it in Florida, apparently, but I guess maybe you'd have to see what happens in New York. So it is kind of a crazy situation.
Tread gingerly, but honesty is where it's at. Family secrets are never going to be healthy in the long run. And you don't want to pull the rug out from under somebody and cause all kinds of damage. But in the end, most people want to know the truth.
Like I learned in Cobra Kai, Kev, the series that's really burning up the charts on Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
It's all about balance and approach. I mean, you're right. You don't want to disrupt this girl's life and wreck her world, but she needs to know the truth eventually. Maybe when she's, an adult.
And if you're in this situation, there is something called the Florida Adoption Registry. It's a way for the birth father to be able to connect with the adopted parents or the adopted child, but still keep privacy if desired. Also, it assists if there is a medical problem. I'm an adoptive mom and a closed adoption. So we were talking about where would it even begin. That would probably be a good place to do it, the Florida Adoption Registry. So maybe check out that or see if New York, the state itself, has one.
Yeah, because you don't know. I mean, they may have been totally honest with her when they adopted her.
Yeah.
She may have grown up this whole time thinking that, yes, I'm adopted and wondering about her mom and dad. Like, that could be the best case scenario.
Well, we got a list of the top 10 words that are fun to say. The weirdest, most awesome, fun words that you like to work into a conversation. This is what one list came up with as their top 10. Is there a word that you would throw into the mix, and do you agree with what they had? Their overall number one most fun word to say is nincompoop. That is what they put in at their number one.
I always liked llama.
Llama.
I love that word. I like the way it's spelled. It rolls off the tongue.
Llama.
Llama.
Llamas are fun and entertaining until they bite you and spit on you.
Yeah, on your birthday.
Yes. Weisenheimer. Weisenheimer.
So is this list from the 30s?
Sounds like it. Gadzooks is also on the list.
This is so. What, is Dollface next?
Gadzooks. Flummoxed is number 4 on their list. Discombobulated. That is a fun word. Persnickety. Gobsmacked. Stupefied. Zozzled. I haven't even heard of that one. Zozzled.
I'm zozzled over here.
What does that mean?
Or,
Zozzled.
hey, you want to zozzle me?
And yeah, it's dirty. It's Urban
Can't.
Dictionary.
I'm married.
What does zozzle mean?
Yeah, what's a zozzle?
It's a good question.
I know we're making it dirty, but it kind of sounds like it could be dirty.
It sounds, oh my gosh, you touched me right in my zozzle.
And then ginormous is what they have in their top 10.
He has a ginormous zozzle.
Yes.
Size queen.
Maybe that's what it is. Any other words that you love other than that, you can let us know. 877-979-WRMF. Add your llamas to the list. Or flabbergasted.
I always like the word gnat, too. G-N-A-A-T. G-N-A-T.
Gnat.
G-N-A-T.
Gnat.
Gnat. Gnat.
Gnat. It's a fun word. All right, anything else you can put in, you can get through to us here on the KVJ Show. Got some whacked out news. Going to be coming up here in just a couple of minutes as we're anxiously awaiting the $5,000 workday payday. It's going to be coming up. If you haven't heard the word on this, you got a chance to win $5,000 every single week. Really good odds because we got all local winners all day long. 1 in 45 chance winning $5,000. You listen up for the cue to call. It is going to be on the hour between 9 and 5 p.m. weekdays. Call number 9 gets $100 to qualify for $5,000 on Friday.
Nice.
Yes.
And every Friday, it's bam, $5,000. Bam, $5,000.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So some really cool stuff. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, have you heard the latest about the murder hornets?
Oh, yeah.
I saw their picture this morning.
Terrifying, right?
These things are crazy scary.
The murder hornets are coming to get you. What is the latest?
That's horrifying, Kevin.
Kevin, stop.
What do you need to know about murder hornets? I'll tell you in your whacked out news next.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Well, luckily, the murder hornets are not necessarily close to us, though they have invaded the U.S., kind of like the Beatles did back in the day. They say Washington State has now found their first murder hornet nest. How would you like to be the guy that had to go and vacuum that thing out? They
Did
say
you
there was
see?
several murder hornets inside of it.
So they had like a whole team that went to go extract and get the murder hornets. They had full-on hazmat rubber suits on.
Yeah.
Like it was legit.
Because these things don't play. These murder hornets, apparently they just got a nasty disposition, and they're like amped up on roids and meth.
They killed, I guess they got them all. They're going to freeze them so they can study them. They didn't like exterminate them on the scene. I guess they put them in this big tube and they're going to go and like freeze them and look at them and try to study them.
So they're still kind of alive?
I don't know how that works. I guess, yeah, if you're frozen.
I mean, isn't this like every Jurassic Park movie we ever see where the dumb scientists go and they've got them contained, they think, and all of a sudden, zip, there goes the murder hornet out the window.
She tripped and dropped the cartridge, and now
Yeah.
they're all thawing out.
I want the real life Jurassic Park to happen. I'm one of those.
Well, it's going to happen,
people.
but with murder hornets. Enjoy that one. Wow. Well, something else that is scary that flies, people without masks. Delta has now come out with a list of 460 customers that they've added to a no-fly list because they refuse to wear masks.
You showed them.
Yeah.
Good luck on your train ride.
Yeah, if you cause a big stink on the airline about the mask right now, the airline should absolutely be allowed to ban you. And because you're just a troublemaker and everybody's just trying to get to their destination, and now you're causing drama in the aisle.
Well, at that point, it's not about what you believe. I don't give a crap. If you don't think masks work, that's fine. But you're going on a plane where there are rules.
And they set the rules on the plane.
Yes.
If you don't like it, drive.
It's got nothing to do with the mask at that point. It's got to do with you being a douche.
Oh, and hey, Delta, can we also add this racist guy to your no-fly list?
This is my seat. Can you stand up? Where's 25A? Why did she just knee me in the stomach? Excuse me, I'm part West African. I can say anytime I want. Bye.
You did. You're being.
I want a lawsuit right now.
Oh my God! Sir, please you need to stop. There are children. Please stop. That's not necessary.
Yeah, this guy shouldn't be able to fly.
Ever. He has lost his flying privileges for life.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm standing there and I have a clear shot, I'm going to throat punch that guy and drop him. A lot of this could be avoided if people just immediately took down these idiots.
I'll believe it for a second. You're a kitten. You wouldn't do it.
I think I would.
I'll talk over here.
Because I never fly sober, get a little vodka in me, and I all of a sudden think I'm an MMA fighter. Let's go.
I keep waiting for the day we get to play Virginia's audio. I know it's coming.
You won't see me causing the ruckus. I won't start it, but I will finish it.
She never starts anything when she's drinking. She's an angel. She's one of those drunk angels.
Well, police in Berlin, Germany raided a 600-person fetish party on Saturday night because they weren't following the coronavirus rules.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think the fetish community gives a crap about corona rules?
Well, they're probably thinking we're wearing a mask anyway. A lot of those furries at least do, but who knows what the fetish was, and unfortunately it doesn't have it in the news report.
Something tells me they're not concerned with masks.
Where do you have this party that fits 600 people?
Fetish Avenue?
Yeah.
Oh, you know how this
Berlin,
stuff works.
baby. They do weird stuff in Germany.
Like in a warehouse?
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff. Berlin, of course,
Yeah.
it's in Berlin.
The bouncer has a donkey mask on. You're like, all right, this is the place.
Welcome to Berlin. 28-year-old James Florent from Vero Beach called 911 last week. He wanted to report an alien sighting. And he told the cops to come take care of the aliens because if they didn't, he would have to, quote, go Independence Day on them.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a threat, right?
Yeah, they thought they would check in on old James, and then they arrested him for misuse of 911. Yeah, he can't be doing that.
Checkmate. That's what they say in the movie, Virginia.
Yeah, so be careful. I mean, use 911 for legit reasons. There's a guy in Ireland that called the police to report that he'd left his bag with $47,000 worth of cocaine on a train.
Oh, no, dude. You just got to kiss that blow goodbye.
And that train just probably got more valuable if you keep the cocaine on there.
You can't go back for it, and you certainly can't call them. You just have to be like, I'm stupid.
Do you try to go back just to see if it's maybe still in the same little spot?
You could.
You could.
But you can't act like it's your bag.
But if it's gone, you can't go and say, hey, anybody see a cocaine bag?
Yeah, lesson learned, dummy.
Yeah, this guy, because he did that, wound up spending the next 4 years in prison.
He did.
Yeah.
He couldn't help it, man.
Dummy. Well, if you're planning on jacking a Tesla, you just need to know that they can track where the car is anywhere. That's what some thieves did in Australia, and they didn't realize that you can track the car with your app. Plus, then, to make it even easier, they left behind some personal items in the Tesla when they ditched the car, which led cops right to them. So, pretty easy. Dummies. Here's another interesting way to get busted for a crime. A severed finger pointed deputies to a suspect during an investigation into a recent theft in Marlow, Tennessee. Deputies were looking into reports of a stolen log splitter at a property when the severed finger was found.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. Turns out there was a guy that had been dropped off at an area hospital with a missing finger trying to get it reattached, and they're going, uh-huh. He was later charged with felony theft of property. But, I mean, he tried to steal the saw and couldn't wait. He had to use it right there on the property he was going to steal it from where he dismembered one of his fingers.
It sounds like maybe he was drinking or something.
There was always that rumor. I don't know if you guys heard it back when you were kids. You get the blocks of Velveeta. Growing up, you always heard the story where they found a bloody glove in one block of Velveeta and then a severed finger in another. So every time I got Velveeta, I'd be looking for a finger.
Trying to find him to match. There's a guy that broke into a house in Oregon, and the cops found him walking down the highway later with a stolen gallon of milk and a can of beets. Okay.
All right.
All right.
It's a weird meal, but
Oh, that's a terrible meal. Milk and a can of beets? What a terrible combination.
I love beets, but if you're going to eat beets, just remember they turn everything red that comes out of you.
Really?
Yeah, you'll look in the toilet and you'll be like, oh my gosh.
Think you're dying?
There's blood in my stool. Oh no, I had beets.
That's the case with all beets every time?
Usually.
And here's another dumb way to get busted. Facebook Live video. There's a rap video being produced in Jacksonville, and apparently there were a bunch of the guys in the video that were flashing around guns, and then the landmarks of where they were in Jacksonville, which made it really easy for the police to come and arrest the 5 guys on weapons charges. So, just kind of a note to yourself. Film your video and then post it later.
Got it.
After you've left. Just, probably a good idea to do
It's all
that.
about the numbers, Kev.
Yeah, I guess it is all about the numbers. So there you go. Got a good number for you, 5,000. That is how much money you could win this Friday.
The 97.9 WRMF $5,000 Workday Payday. Be caller 9 right now at 877-979-WRMF to win $100 and get qualified for $5,000. Good luck from 97.9 WRMF. This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
How's $5,000 to kick off a weekend sound? Amazing, right? It's the $5,000 Workday Payday, and you can start on a Monday just like Mike Colt did from Boynton Beach. What's up, Mike?
Hey, VJ.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I want to give you $100 here on this Monday. What's that?
I still want to say hi to Kevin in Virginia, too. I'm sorry, Jason in Virginia, too. It's not just to you.
Okay. We'll give the love all the way around. There's no doubt about it. But I'm the one giving you the money, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Hi, Kevin. I love you.
He makes you kiss his ass.
That's it.
Before he'll give you the money.
That's it.
I haven't gotten the money yet. I got you.
Oh,
Well,
it's coming.
Here's how we do it, Mike. I got $100 for you right now, and now you are qualified for our drawing on Friday, where we're going to pull out somebody who's going to walk away with an additional $5,000. Does that sound cool to you?
Yeah, that sounds okay with me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Take the $5,000.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Very nice.
I'll take it.
You are in the running. Pretty good odds there, Mike. Best of luck. I hope you start off your weekend with $5,000. Okay, buddy?
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, there you go. And Mike is our first $100 winner. You qualify by listening pretty much during the weekday. Listen on the hour, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You get a little cue to call, you get $100 like that, and then bam, come Friday, you could win $5,000, and everybody here is going to be local. So it's all people listening to the regular broadcast at 97.9 WRMF that is going to be winners here.
I love it.
Yep, a 1 in 45 chance of winning. Pretty good odds on that. So keep listening. You got more chances to win coming up. I know Drake has just announced he's got a new album that's going to be coming out in January 2021, and they say that he's already got an aggressive TikTok plan on what they're going to be doing. And a lot of times they give these songs now to TikTok stars first, and they want them to break it on TikTok. So they go, oh, I love that song. And that's really how music discovery is happening.
That's how I found that Jason Derulo song, Savage Love.
Love, yeah.
That's been on TikTok with a fun dance for months.
Yeah, he's got already a growing partnership with TikTok. He makes money off of that in addition to his music. And how brilliant is that it went #1 just like a week or so ago?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it is a big song on how they're doing this stuff. And it is kind of interesting just how they find this song. And a song like the Fleetwood Mac, Dreams, you're like, wow, what a great, cool sounding song. And sometimes it's just that moment. It fits with the vibe. And what is that song? Maybe something that, we've forgotten about it for 10, 20, 30, even look at Fleetwood Mac 40 years. And you're like, that is just a great sounding song that it's one TikTok video away from being a top 10 hit again.
I kind of feel like Denny's just did that for us with some of those songs. All those rap songs from the 90s were all awesome. Regulate, that was great. We think that wasn't that long ago. How's 20 years ago? Bring some of those back.
Yeah.
Regulate deserves to be TikTok famous.
It really does. That was a jam.
It's a beautiful song.
Into the mainstream.
I don't know if it's beautiful.
I love his voice. I'm so sad to hear he passed.
I've never heard anyone call it beautiful, and you're shocked years later after his passing.
I just love the way his voice quality is.
Mm-hmm. I remember the one that kind of stands out to me is it's just kind of like a cool vibe because I think Dreams has that cool vibe to it, the Fleetwood Mac song.
Because you had two people. You had Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham really bringing it together.
Yeah, it's a solid song, but it's got something about the vibe, and I think it fit with the guy in the longboard video. And it reminded me, I told you that I was on that plane, and we were kind of like, where you start to take off in the clouds and it's sunset. And it looked like cotton candy, and I was, for whatever reason, I got kind of like a chill playlist. And Billy Joel's "Just the Way You Are," and it just, to me, it was like, what a cool moment where I was like, it just is chill. It was a great sounding song. Like I could totally see just that part of it coming back.
Don't go changing.
Yeah,
just to please me, Kev.
Mm-hmm. I love you just the way you are, bird.
Don't you change that color of your hair.
Somebody said I had kind of the same thing. I was driving my convertible over the bridge that takes you into Miami Beach, Julia Tuttle Causeway there, and it was a perfect blue sky day, and the radio was playing Journey Separate Ways. That's my vote. Yeah, they already had "Don't Stop Believing" that came back.
Yeah,
Journey, you've had your quota.
You've had enough.
Yeah. Somebody texted in and said there was another Billy Joel song that slightly came back with that new Amazon show, The Boys, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing.
What's the name of the song?
It was ongoing theme with one of the characters in Billy Joel, and I don't know. They didn't list it in the text.
What was the name of it? I'll find it.
The Boys on Amazon using a Billy Joel song.
The Boys.
Mm-hmm. So check, see what that is.
You'll just hear me scream the song out.
And somebody else said America's Ventura Highway.
Oh, that is a jam.
Yeah.
Ventura Highway.
Yeah.
In the sun. I love it.
Jaybird looks like he could be a member of America right
That's
now.
the look I'm going for.
Okay.
I love it.
Yacht rock kind of stuff, maybe. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. Maybe we put together a little perfect playlist on what songs need a reboot, like Fleetwood Mac's Dreams. What do you see coming back?
Oh, man, I'm trying to find this Billy Joel song now. It's killing me, Kev.
It's killing you?
Is it Captain Jack?
I don't know.
Oh, Pressure they have. Billy Joel's Pressure, a 1982 hit. Pressure!
Yeah.
It's kind of a stressful song.
Yeah, are they sure?
I think it's kind of a stressful show.
Okay. Yeah, that would work good then.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said if you wanted to double down on Stevie Nicks, Edge of 17. That is a good sounding song.
Oh, I mean, the best of Stevie Nicks, that album is amazing from top to bottom.
They had a lot of great stuff. Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham on solo efforts, Virginia.
I think it's called Time Space. It is so good.
She's got another great one that was in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and then you try to buy Stevie Nicks' greatest hits, and of course, it's not on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
Something Angel. It's a really great song.
Yeah.
You would know it if you heard it.
Yeah, somebody's just rolling off a bunch of Fleetwood Mac songs. It's been great for the band to have that featured on TikTok.
They're rich as crap, dude. They don't need the money.
Desert Angel? Is that it?
I think it's Sleeping Angel. Sleeping Angel.
Okay.
That's my best Stevie Nicks.
It's more of the KVJ show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
Well, if you got social media and you've taken a photo without your mask, you probably know you're going to get mask shamed. There's a big country star. His name's Jason Aldean, and he took his family to Disney World in Orlando, and they went inside the park and took off their masks to take a photo and posted it up on social media. And oh my gosh, it was just an onslaught of what? WTF for your masks? Everybody's required to wear them. Who do you think you are? I'll never buy your music ever again.
Let's be mean to Aldean.
Oh, gee, that's what it was.
It's like a lynch mob.
Let's be mean to Aldean.
Hashtag mean to Aldean.
He just took it off to take the picture. Why don't y'all sit down?
People on social media are usually sitting down. That's all they're doing. They're just sitting down and bitching.
He responded, "Chill out, lady. They're in our pocket. We took them off for 5 seconds to take this pic. Believe me, Disney didn't give us a free pass to not wear them.
No.
We've had them on all day just like everybody else."
You know Aldean just wants to say say, "Hey, lady, kiss my ass." You know he wants to
Please
say that.
don't ever buy another record again.
I don't want you
They're
as a
good.
fan. Leave me alone.
You're
That's
not
what he
allowed
wants to
to.
say. Yeah.
You're not allowed to buy one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm rejecting you as a fan.
What's your name? I have a list. I'm going to put you on the list. You're not allowed to buy my material.
Exactly.
Banned from purchasing.
I hope Aldine gets me.
Wouldn't it be great? They
Get
can turn
her.
around like that.
Get her, Aldine.
dude,
there you
everyone's
go.
scared to do that.
Yeah, everybody's getting mass shamed. How would you like to get $5,000 in cash? It started today. Mike Colt from Boynton Beach picked up $100, and he's just waiting until Friday to find out if he's going to get an additional $5,000. You just got to keep listening up. Weekdays on the hour from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You'll get the cue to call number 9. You get $100, and then you're in the running for the $5,000 that we draw every single Friday. It's going to be $5,000 this Friday, another $5,000 next Friday, another $5,000. So it just keeps going and going. All local winners all day long. Great chances to win. So if you'd like $5,000, you got to keep it here to 97.9 WRMF all day long. After the Show podcast is about 5 minutes away. Jay Bird, before we get to that, on Facebook and YouTube, wrap us up with your thought, my man.
Thank you, Positive K. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less.
Very wise, our spiritual guru.
Good bird.
Yeah.
Want to see what Virginia looks like on camera? And Kevin and Jason? YouTube.com/KVJ Show.